Hey friends, Dustin here at Vintage King giving you the virtual lowdown on all things new at NAMM 2021. Today we're hanging out with Jay Porter from Radial, and he's given us the scoop on 5 new products, including their Stereo-EXTC. Super exciting. So let's jump into it.
Yeah, Dustin, thanks for having me. We are showing a few new things for virtual NAMM, and got a couple things that we can share the screen with and show you guys. So, first of all, the first product, which we kind of had a sneak preview for last year with the first early prototypes, but now announcing, kind of starting to ship the first units in February, is the Radial power conditioners and surge suppressors. So 2 models. So the Power 1, so it's your rack mount power conditioner, 8 outlets on the back, 3 on the front. A little closer up photo here. So, everybody needs some of these in their studio and in their live rig. We've made them a little bigger, better, a little more improved than the typical ones you see out there. A lot of these kind of entry-level power conditioners use an MOV, a metal oxide varistor, which is the protection. It's essentially the thing that'll pop before your equipment will blow up if you get bad power. Most of these use a very poor quality one. We've sourced one that's made in the US, really, really high quality, much better than any of the competitors that are out there. And that's what's in this thing at the heart of it. So you have the 8 outlets on the back, 3 on the front, wall wart spacing for 4 of those outlets on the back, and then we even added a USB port on the front panel so you can plug in your phone or your iPad or whatever and give it a charge while it's stuck in the rack. And then the step up from that one is the Power 2. So this is basically the same thing, same internal protection for gear, but has your big illuminated pull-out lighting tray. And I'm actually going to, we're just going to stop the share on this for a second because I've got one in my rack here. You see that there? Yeah, so full LED, lots of different colors. Turn it all the way off, and you can also dim it right to off as well. So if you want to make it a little bit darker, you can. So, not a lot of evolution in those power conditioners for a long time, and a lot of them still use incandescent lighting. So just having a bit of a funky LED, and it really shines brightly and can really illuminate the front of that rack quite well. So kind of a little value add feature for the Power 2 that we think is kind of cool, and we certainly use it here in the studio where we're loaded up with Philips Hue bulbs and everything else, so having some funky color LED is always a good thing. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen here. So there's the Power 2 pull-out lighting tray, same USB charging port on the front. You've got your dimmer and color selection. Just one outlet on the front, which is always on. It's not switched, but all 8 outlets on the back are switched on this guy. So this one will be shipping, for Power 1 will be shipping in February. Power 2 will be shipping in March. So right around the corner, just getting built right now. There's an image of it in the rack. The next one is something a lot of people are really excited about, and it's the stereo version of our original Ecstasy. So for those of you that don't know, the Ecstasy is a product that enables people to connect unbalanced effects to their pro rig. So you've got a really cool guitar pedal that you want to use on a vocal. You can send +4 out of your recording interface into this thing, converts it to the -10 level or instrument level that the pedal wants to see, go through the pedal, back out and into this guy, and then back into your computer at +4. So it's an unbalanced to balanced effects loop, essentially. And we've had the Ecstasy for a few years, quite a few years now, actually. We have a 500 series module, and now this is just the next evolution, which is the stereo module for those who want to use stereo effects. So something that was asked for us for a long time. Previously, people had to buy two Ecstasies and then carefully level match them to get perfect balance between left and right. Now everything's done. So pretty much same feature set as the original Ecstasy. You've got a send level, a receive level, and then you have a wet-dry blend. You have your balanced inputs and outputs on the rear of the box, and then the quarter-inch unbalanced to go to your effects in and out are all on the front panel. So you can get a rack kit for this one. Actually, probably noticed when I had the camera up to the Power 2 there, the unit that was right below that is the original Ecstasy. So we've got that here in a 500 series as well. So these can be racked up like that original Ecstasy with a pair of ears that go on the side, and have it in your rack or just straight on top of your guitar amp. Can be used as a regular reamper as well if you just want to go out one way, but really the benefit to this thing is being able to bring all of those guitar level effects and turn them into the pro level world. Next is the JX42. So JX42 V2, I should say. So this is a guitar switcher. We've had the original version 1 for a number of years. The version 2 that we're bringing out now is a huge departure from the original. So this is really intended for the touring guitar player that wants to have a rack of guitars ready to go on stage, really quickly be able to change instruments between songs, have all guitars plugged in, ready to go and connect to the amplifier, and just have a simple way to switch. So you have 4 guitars in. All guitars can be have an on-off switch or can be controlled with a foot pedal switch. Any input that is turned off, it automatically feeds the tuner output, so the guitar tech can be tuning a guitar through the same interface. And all inputs can be turned left on at the same time if you wanted to. And the real benefit to that was guys doing really fast changeovers want to pass a guitar off to their tech. The tech passes them another guitar. A lot of times that guitar is really still sustaining, and then they want to go right into the next song. One application was going to see the guys from Arcade Fire a few years ago, and they had like multiple pedals all the way between the guitar player and guitar world, because at any given time the tech or the guitar player wanted to be able to switch on or off that guitar. So this one has the ability to leave a second guitar on, so it's a big improvement there. You can go to 2 different amplifier outs. So generally this one's going to be used with somebody that has a main guitar rig and then a backup rig, and they can just switch back and forth between those. And then if you want to use a MIDI controller to do all your changeovers, this does have a MIDI input on it as well, and all the foot switch capability of this thing can be controlled by MIDI. And then last but not least, we got rid of the wall wart and have a built-in IEC power cable, so anybody that's touring can just simply swap out the guitar cable and plug into 110 or 240. Doesn't matter where they are, it'll work. And then the JX44 is a bit of the big brother to the JX42. So again, this is an update of our original JX44 that we've had for years. Guys like Carlos Santana and Joe Perry using it. This one, get to the bigger image here. This one has 4 guitar ins, 4 amplifiers out. You can zoom in here. There is a effects loop in and out that can be routed to any guitar amp. So any amp can be set to left, right, or dry. So you can do stereo, wet, dry, wet rigs. So you basically route the effects to any amp you want to. All the amps can be turned on at the same time, or any combination there with the that you want. Still works with our JR5 foot switch. which can be programmed to do any different combination of things. So if you want switch 1 to turn on all 4 amplifiers, you can do that. If you want your 4 switches to just follow the 4 amps, you can do that as well. So really the command center for the touring guitar player. Has a DI output with the Jensen JDI transformer on it. So this can automatically follow whatever input's active, or it can be set to just be input number 4. So a lot of players will have 3 electrics and an acoustic. They'll always leave the acoustic into 4, and they just want 4 being the DI output. You can do that. But if you want the DI to follow everything, want to record a dry signal from any guitar, you can do that as well. JR5 foot switch can control the amps or the guitars. Like the JX42, it can be controlled with MIDI. Pretty useful with this one, be able to have your MIDI rig switching all your amps and that sort of thing, so you don't have to worry so much about a foot pedal. Has an SGI transmit and receive built in. So the SGIs are studio guitar interface, so you can have effects on your pedal board and run guitar signal over several hundred feet of mic cable and go into the SGI ins and outs, avoid signal loss that way. So again, it's really the centerpiece for any of the touring guitar rig kind of people, but also in studio, with us, like I have a JD7 here right now upstairs. I have several different amps hooked up to the JD7. I'm going to switch to this one because then when we're have a guitar player down here in the control room and we're playing, I want to switch through the amps and hear which one sounds best. I can literally have a foot switch on the floor and be switching the JX44 upstairs. So kind of a cool, though intended for the live application and guitar rigs, I think it's got a lot of use in recording studios as well. We've got everything. All the websites are just going live at radialeng.com, or of course you can go to our friends at Vintage King and they'll have them up on their website shortly as well.